I literally just got done watching this. I just got done watching this. I don't know. I like it. It just goes to show you this says Halloween Revenge of Michael Myers. And wow, man, Michael still lives and he's out for his revenge. This one came out in 1989. And like I told you guys, folks out there, a lot of times I upload stuff because I just haven't watched it in a while. Like I said, I was so in love with that first one, I just never give the rest of them a shot. But I have to say, I just literally got done watching this, and man, the ending where they had to, you know, Dr. Loomis talked him into going back to his old house, so they set him up to try to catch him and stuff, and then somehow she gets all these visions from Michael, and then he end up attacking the place where they was keeping her at, and then so they had to split up all the because they had that place, they had all the police people just covered that whole house, and then most of them ended up going over there to that place where that little girl was staying. But that little child actor, man, Daniel Harris, I think her name is. She's a pretty good actor. I think she was in. I'm for sure that girl was in. Those Crawley films. The ones where can't I hate when I get in front of this camera. I can't think of the name of it. Hatchet. I think she was in those. But anyway, she was a little girl in this. But anyway, I just literally got done, and for a minute I didn't think I was gonna like this. Those teenage people was getting on my nerves, especially when they went to that Halloween, and obviously some of them had a Michael Myers mask on. But I remember a long time ago, people said they didn't like that Halloween mask, and to me, the best mask is the one in the first Halloween, and I really did like the mask that was in the last ones that was in the last ones, the last installment with Jamie Lee Curtis and them. That was about a couple 3 years ago. I love that mask there. They did a good job with that mask. But I know there was a couple of movies that a lot of people said they didn't care for the mask that he put on. Now this one, I thought the mask was, I thought it was pretty slick. It looked okay. But I know I kept sitting there going, boy, that mask is just looks like pow, man. It's really, it really pops. But you know, when he went to that Halloween party and Michael Myers crashed that Halloween party, and then he had those two goofy cops that sat in the car and he killed them. Well, that was some pretty good stuff. Like they had that Camaro that he was driving, and he put that one mask on, and that girl thought it was her boyfriend, and it was Michael Myers on that mask, and then he was driving the car. Then he's also driving he drove a cop car, and there was a lot of things in this movie that just shows you how much I did not pay attention to any of these because of the fact that I just love one so much. But I know I said it in the last video. That number two, that daggone number two, man, whew, man, that's up there with me now. But this one really took off. What I did like about this is it actually took off right where number 4 took off. Because when I was watching it, I started watching it yesterday, but I had to get some rest because I had to drive to Cincinnati to go see my daughter and her boyfriend, and we was gonna go see The Conjuring: The Last Rite. So I wanted to make sure I had plenty of sleep. Plus, you got to drive down the highway, and I fell asleep. So I said I'm gonna finish it today, and it delivered. It really delivered. Now, a lot of times when I talk about movies like this, the reason why I love movies like this because if you get on this channel, I like a lot of new stuff, but I like a lot of old stuff. Uh, it, I grew up, being born in '59 and all that kind of stuff, man. So the movies that I'm so used to, man, it's just uh, there's so much junk in movies now. Don't get me wrong, there's some good stuff out there like Sinners, Weapons. Sinners and Weapons was just so good. And then I'm just using those as an example. There's a lot more. But there's just a lot of movies, man. But this is this takes right after the other one. Man brought some of the characters back from the Halloween 4. But yeah, man, I just literally got done, and I said, man, this is pretty good. Who was that person in that dark cloak? There was a guy in there that was all it showed was his boots. And he was walking. He had a long black trench coat on, and at the end, uh, Dr. Loomis tried. He used that girl as bait, and that's how he ended up getting Michael Myers. But Dr. Loomis, man, Dr. Loomis is his name, I guess. He, yeah, Danielle Harris was in this movie. Danielle Harris, Rob Zombie's Halloween. Uh, there was one Halloween I watched that was belonged to Rob Zombie. The one he had one that I liked. The other one I didn't care for, but he had one I really liked. But uh, Dr. Loomis, man, he be taking the beating, man. He got burnt, he got stabbed, he got sliced, blood all on his head. But he just keeps on coming back. But he ends up trapping, Michael, and he ends up getting, he ends up having a heart attack or something like that. Of course, he probably survived, but it showed where they got Michael in the cell, and they said he will not get out until the day he dies. When they was gonna transport him somewhere, and then she was like, well, he'll never die. And I was like, man, they actually took that little girl to the jail, but anyway, so he said take her back to the hospital, the institution where she's at with the other kids. And so when the cop went to take him in there, put her in the car, here come this guy that never showed his face in a dark trench coat, and he walks in, and all of a sudden you hear a bunch of shots being fired. So he's like, stay in the car. So he goes in there, and then she's hearing all these shots fired. So she walks in, and it's all quiet, and all the cops are dead. And she looks, and Michael Myers is gone, and so is that person, whoever was in charge of him getting out, because it ended with her looking at the jail cell that Michael Myers was in. It's like looked like somebody had to set off a little bomb in it to make it doors get destroyed, and it just shows her, saying Michael or something like that, or something, and then the movie stops right there. But I didn't really think I was gonna like this movie, tell you the truth. And then I kept watching. I kept sitting there going to myself, so man, this movie's not too bad. I think what threw me was those girls. Those girls was really getting on my nerves. And then the girl that was in the last movie, she got killed. I was like, why'd you guys kill her off? Uh, uh, but she got killed, and then the guy that owned the Camaro got killed. He, he, Michael, man, I ain't gonna lie. I can't believe I didn't watch all these compared to watching all the Friday 13, because I ain't gonna lie, some of the Friday 13s are just cheesy. Friday 13th got cheesy, and so did Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger's first three movies, they were pretty good, but he seemed like he got more comedic later on. But even though I like those type of movies and I enjoy Friday 13th, I watched all of them out of this box set right here. But I said, Vic, you bought these and you never watched them. Believe that? I bought that about 3 or 4 years ago, and I literally got around to watching it like 4 or 5 months ago. All of them. I said, Vic, you gonna watch every one of those movies. You spent that kind of money for that box set, you gonna watch them. And I watched them all. And there was some that I was shocked that they were as good as they were. Especially the one where, uh, Jason X. I was like, man, I said, no, okay, Vic, you bought it, you need to buy it. You bought it, you need to watch it. And I watched it, I loved it. And then the last one, I did not care for that final last one, that very last Friday 13th. Then I watched it and I was like, I like it. So I'm loving this. I'm glad I'm going through this. But here it is. It's September the 6th, I believe, right? And I'm full on getting my Halloween vibe on. You know what I'm saying? And man, again, guys, I want to put this out there. I appreciate the new subscribers I got. I got like, uh, I got like 3 or 4 new subscribers. I want to thank each and every one of you. Hopefully you hang around. I know some of you get off here because I don't drop enough stuff, or maybe I don't keep you, but I just want to say thank you. But like I said, I enjoy putting these videos up and talking about movies, because I know a lot of stuff I talk about. People be like, man, how can you like that movie? But there's just, I always tell people, I said, when you start something, man, there's got to be somebody out there that's got the same type of wavelength. You're in the same kind of wavelength they are in. And that's why I put these videos up. You know, there got to be somebody down there that's down to earth. You don't have to sound cool. You can make mistakes. You know, you can just be yourself on camera, and that way you find the people that can connect to you. So, yeah, man. And like I told y'all before, man, there is a bazillion people out there that's talk about these movies over and over and over again. I just don't talk about them that much because I don't watch them, because I told you, I like one more than anything. So when I watch one, I just won't give the rest of them a chance. I don't know why I did those like that, because I remember when I watched these, I said, oh, I remember that. Oh, I remember I watched that. Oh, I remember that. So I remember watching all the Halloweens, but I think there's one that I did like, and it's got the guy in it that played Ant-Man. You know, the guy that played Ant-Man, he's in one of them. I remember liking one of them. I don't know which one that is, but I might get on Prime and see if I can watch the rest of them. But there's just some of those I just didn't care for, or maybe I just, because when I watched, because this came out in 1988, so I mean I was 10 years out of school, and then Jamie Lee Curtis, I think that one she put out with, uh, you know, Josh Hartnett playing her son, that was in the 90s. I think it had Busta Rhymes and them in there too. But for some reason, I don't think that I did not like those movies. I think that I just couldn't. I was like, okay, they must. Yes, obviously they changed the movie, because obviously you know that, when did Jamie Lee Curtis get pregnant? When did she have a child? When would, I'm like, man, and then there was parts where Jamie Lee Curtis wasn't even in the movie. They just show her picture of her face and stuff like that, and the kid would be with foster care, foster care and all that kind of stuff. So I get it, man. You're trying to keep the Halloween movies and the Halloween series going by throwing all these different, and then come by, like the last Halloween, those last 3 Halloween and Halloween Kills and Halloween, what was it called? Halloween, and then you had Halloween Ends and Halloween Kill. Those were the latest ones that they put out. Now, a lot of people loved the first one. I liked all of them. But again, they just wiped clean that she had anything to do with Michael Myers, wasn't related or anything like that. But she had been barricaded and raising, I liked them. I really did. I went to the theater and seen all of them, except for Halloween Kills, because I was supposed to go to the movies to see Halloween Kill with my son and his girlfriend. But at that time, they said, that's when Peacock and them was putting it out at the same time as in the theater. And I said, yeah, I don't have Peacock. I said, I'm not getting Peacock. I said, I have no reason to. And he's like, Dad, if you do get it, he goes, we'll come down and watch it instead of going to the theater. So I downloaded, paid my little $10, and they didn't end up coming down because something happened. But that's how I ended up watching Halloween, was on Peacock. And I keep Peacock just because. So, but yeah, you guys, I'm not gonna lie. I just literally got done with this, and I was like, okay, I'm buying into this. Don't get me wrong. Are these like Oscar-worthy movies and all that? No. And I want to put this out here, you guys. I'm just not that type of guy that watches movies and try to nitpick and find everything wrong. Obviously, you can know there's a lot of stuff in here that's whatever, right? There's a lot of stuff in 4 that's like, whatever, man. There's a lot of stuff in Friday the 13th. We know that, it's like, oh, come on, man. What was the part in there that was in here that I was sitting there going, I said something when I was watching. I said, now you're gonna go ahead and go back in there. No, I forgot what it was. There was a scene in there. I just got done watching this. I was like, ah, hey, that's what I like when movies grab me like that. So I was like, now come on, man, why would you? But okay, you're gonna go right back, do it again. Well, all right. I said, well, you're gonna get killed. So, but they did a good job because there's times in here where I thought Michael Myers was gonna kill somebody, and then he didn't kill somebody, and he ended up killing somebody. But I thought he was gonna kill somebody then, but he didn't. And there was a lot of times he was hiding, and you showed him walking by and stuff. Did a real good job. There was times where he didn't kill somebody, but you see him sitting there, and he would come out dark, and you could barely see his face, and that face mask was so detailed on his face. And then, later on he would kill somebody. But I was like, okay. So I'm telling you, man, I am loving this Halloween. Uh, and I bought Halloween 1 through 5, and that's why I bought them, because 1 through 5 is the ones I like the most. Now, what I'll do is I'll try to catch the rest of the Halloweens on a streaming service to see what they're all about, but I don't think I'll put them in there. Now, if they ever came out with a Halloween, all of them, including the ones with the ones that came out late, a couple 3 years ago, in a box set, still book at that. Oh yeah, I invest I invest about 150, $60 in that. I would, just because I like collecting stuff and I like the box art. But man, these slip covers are so freaking nice. I mean, these are some awesome slip covers, man. Especially the ones that feels like a booklet. You know what I mean? These are the best ones. They should put them all like this. So, like I say, you guys, God bless all y'all, man. And I'm definitely getting my uh, Halloween vibe on, man, because it's September the 6th, man, and I'm just feeling it, dude. I mean, I'm really feeling it, man. So, uh, I'll be putting up a video just about every other day, because I'm gonna start watching a lot of stuff Halloweenish. So I got you know, actually I got 60 days or 60 something days. I'm gonna be watching a bunch of stuff from Halloween. And like I say, guys, thank you for the new subscribers. If you hang around, that's fine. If you don't, hey, come back and visit. See what I say? Come back and visit. See, what I do is I got a lot of people I watch, but I don't subscribe because I don't watch them enough to subscribe. But I make sure I watch them. I'll be like, oh, what's your name doing? Now watch, that's a good video, and then I'll hit a like. But I never ask for subscribers, and I never ask you to hit the like button. You know why? Because it gets on my nerves when I watch a video and I sit there and go, oh man, you had me there, and then you had to say, be sure to hit the like button, and it helps out my channel, and subscribe. Let us make our own decision. I might watch somebody for a year or two, then I'll subscribe. Once in a while I'll find somebody that I like, I'll subscribe right away, but that channel has to be. And I like more down to earth YouTubers. I don't like the big ones too much anymore. I don't subscribe to the big YouTubers. I'm not gonna say their name. I'm just not into them. They're just big. I feel like they've been bought into some type of system, man. I know they're worried about their little paycheck, and I just can't handle that stuff. But I seen this real quick. I share a story with you. It was this guy that I like. I'm not gonna say his name. Just a down to earth guy, and he was on there. Said he wanted to make an announcement about his YouTube, channel, and he said that he hasn't been getting the views, and he thinks that YouTube is doing something to his channel, and he said that he barely made a paycheck, and I felt bad for him, but at the same time I was like, man, dude, it kind of turned me off, because he is such a down to earth guy, man, and I love his content, man. And I was like, he said that he thinks that YouTube is not putting out his content right, or putting it out so he can see. He said he went from these views to that view, and he just looks like the type of guy that just enjoys what he's doing. I'm not sitting there saying he doesn't, but when he got on there talking about what YouTube do, here's what I think YouTube's doing. YouTube's getting a whole lot of people on that platform, a ton. And when you're paying out people money after they get whatever, I don't know how they get money, but I'd be afraid that, here's what I would do if it was me. I have a job. I have income. My biggest thing through the eyes of God is to stay healthy so I could be able to go to work. And then when I come and I got a YouTube channel, let's just say YouTube cuts me a check. They never have, because I'm not that big. Let's say if I get a check from YouTube out of the blue and it's like $60. Oh, damn, I got a $60 check from YouTube. I was like, wow, this is awesome. Well, I'll be like, way doggy, because I got a check YouTube, I've never got paid. But what if they did give you $60 or something? All of a sudden they give you $100, then you give $50, then you only got $30, and you still got your job. Think about that. Instead of just relying on that check, rely on your job. That's what makes YouTube fun. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. I was just disappointed when he put that video up. I still keep him as a subscribe button. I was like, dang, dude. I wanted to leave my message. Said, man, just do what you do, man, and keep having fun. Just be in yourself, man. You might be in a small little rut. I said, people subscribe, then they unsubscribe. Then you get a bunch of new subscribers, and you can get 20 new subscribers, and 5 would fall off. But you still got 15. You can get 100, and 20 will fall off. You still got 80. I mean, I don't want to be that type of a YouTuber where I got to worry about this. Sometimes I won't even look at the YouTube because I know I'm going to lose a subscriber every now and then. But what I want to do is I want to continue to be myself in front of this camera and just tell it like it is. And like I said, you guys, I'm going to have a series. Check this out. I'm going to have a series where I won't get any viewers at all because I was born, now I'm saying I was born at the right time, but being born in 59, I watched a lot of movies that a lot of people that's near and dear to my heart gone. But I like a lot of old classic movies. So I'm gonna put on a playlist classics I'm gonna put a title on a playlist classics I love, or I'm gonna put a title about classics. And I'm gonna put a video up about each classic I go back and watch. I'm not gonna get no views off that. Because most people that are in their 30s and 40s, they don't like classics. They can't relate to it because they were born. They look at those films. It's like, oh, there was no cell phone. There was no, oh my God, look at the size of that phone. Look at that furniture. Oh, it's black and white. Oh. They can't think beyond that. But I'm going to put that up there because that's what I enjoy. I enjoy these older type of movies. I do like new stuff, but there's just a lot of new stuff I just simply don't care for. Real quick, I was at work talking to this cat, this dude I work with, country boy, lives out in the country. He always talks like, he's younger than me. He's like, well, now, he's like, well, now, and I was like, yeah, and we was talking about how we used to go outside and play, and, you can hear your mom and dad call for you. And they call for you that last time, it's time to get your butt in the house because you're going to get in trouble. He said, yeah, man, time's changing. He said that he lived out in the country and his mom used to call them home. But he said that they played with a family that was German Baptist. And he said that they used to ring that bell to tell their kids to come home. And they'd ring that bell. He said, man, they would go running home. And I hear my mom telling us to go home. He goes, and I said, yeah, you remember when the stores were closed I was born in 59. I said, there was a time when stores was closed on Sunday. I said, that's why a lot of people now, I know this has nothing to do with Halloween 4, but I'm just telling you why I like these type of movies and it just takes me back in time. I said, I remember when we used to borrow sugar or eggs from people and I couldn't understand why we did that because if you didn't make it to the store at 9 o'clock on Saturday, you was SOL. Because the store didn't open up on till Monday. And I said, man, it just seems like technology and social media has really warped our mind. This platform right here, it is so hateful and toxic. There's things I don't care for. I could tell you a list of stuff I don't care for, but I don't want to build my channel on that. I just want to build my channel on stuff I know that most people probably would not get into. They'd be like, man, dude, damn, dude. I can't sound cool. I can't sound this way. I can't sound anything. I need to make sure this is what you're seeing when you're dealing with. And he was talking. I said, yeah, Chris. I said, his name is Chris. I remember that. It's just so messed up right now. I said, man, you remember? He said, yeah, man, we used to go Halloween, man. He said, you used to go out, man, and he used to go all over the place, man. He said, and I said, oh, Halloween was so fun now. I said, man, Halloween is so messed up now. And we was talking about, it's not the kids' fault that Halloween's messed up. It's just that this world is messed up. And technology and social media, I said, if it was up to me, I'd do a Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all the social media platforms. I said, because now, man, even Halloween sucks, man. You got these people doing this, taking these pictures of them with their, fancy little Halloween outfits on. See who's got the best Halloween outfits on there. Well, you know what? I want to go to a neighborhood, man, that's lit up with all kind of decorations, man, and having people out there dressed up like whatever, man, and passing out candy, man. Having some music playing in each house, go down the next neighborhood like that. We don't have that no more. This world is so messed up, man. And that's just a little rant I just want to throw out there. I just miss those days. So when I watch these movies in closing, I watched this. This is 1988. This is 2025. I can tell you when things took a turn for the worse. From 2001 to 2007, that's when everything, that 2001, 2007, 2008, 2009, 2010, 2011, it just went downhill after that. 2000 to 2007. And it seemed like after that, that's when 2008, 9, 10, 11, 12, it just, I believe it's right around that time. But I know it was 2000 to 2007. And then after 2008, 9, and 10, 11 came in, man, it just started getting worse and worse and worse. I think from 2000 to 2007, man, and just, I miss those days. So anyway, you guys, God bless, take care. But yes, I enjoyed this. Is this a great movie? No. Is it a perfect movie? Absolutely not. But it never takes away the joy of how I watch these movies. 1988, man. My sisters, I got two sisters who passed away. They were alive, you know. My mom was alive. My dad was alive, you know. One of my friends that passed away, he left two boys behind. I'm 66. I'm 66. The guy I used to work with, man, he'd be about 41, left two boys behind, died when he was 36 years old. I mean, you guys, life is short, man. Get away from all this toxic stuff, man. If you got something that's draining your soul, sit back and say, what's draining me? You know, it could be social media, it could be whatever, man. But, you know, me and Chris was just talking about how things was just so simple back then, you know. You remember when people used to actually sit at the dinner table and eat dinner together, you know? And, you know, you might sit there, oh, you just being old folk. I say, that doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just so messed up out here. I mean, it's terrible when you got people that gets into Halloween and they only get 4 or 5 kids that come out just to get trick or treat. You know why? Because the world is so messed up. You got people poisoning kids. You got people trying to kill kids. It's just so messed up. And then COVID hit, that messed up stuff. And it just one thing after another. But anyway, you guys, that's just a little rant. But hey, Halloween 5, I love it. It ain't the best. And I'm going to tell you that too. It's not the best at all. And it's not that great a movie. But I literally got done. I sit there and I said, okay, man, I'm liking this. I'm liking this because it picked up right where four was, and I went to 5. So anyway, that's all I got. God bless, take care, and we'll catch you next video. Be safe out there.